Hey there, my name is Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life. Back in 2017, I released a video about the Red Bird River Petroglyphs. I wanted to revisit the topic because history isn't what it used to be. There are new ideas out there about the past and new interpretations. And these days, everyone is an expert and everyone is right. So, history, like everything else, is controversial. But I'm not an expert, and this channel isn't controversial unless we're pronouncing Appalachia, and then the gloves come off. This guy is very controversial. His name is Graham Hancock. A lot of people find his ideas about the past interesting, and other people hate him. Hancock's Netflix series Ancient Apocalypse is a big hit. I've never seen it. What I do know is that the series makes all the experts very angry, which doesn't make any sense. If you're an expert, why do you care about alternate ideas if you're confident in your own ideas? But then again, I don't know how an expert should or shouldn't feel. This video isn't about Hancock or his Netflix series. It's about someone else who, like Hancock, dares to believe something different than the accepted historical narrative about the Red Bird River Petroglyphs. If you haven't seen my other video about the petroglyphs, well, good. It's total cringe. Besides, you don't need to see that video to watch this video. So let's begin by revisiting the mysterious Red Bird River Petroglyphs and a possible conspiracy. I've left links in the description, so go ahead and hit the like button and let's get started. If you were alive on December 7th, 1994, Boyz II Men's #1 hit, On Bended Knee, was what you were listening to on the radio, and if you went to the movies, you were probably seeing Dumb and Dumber. What you didn't know is that a 50-ton stone fell from a sandstone cliff above the Red Bird River onto Kentucky Route 66. There were ancient carvings on that giant stone. These carvings were conveniently named the Red Bird River Petroglyphs, which should be a no-brainer considering that's the name of this video. A couple of days later, this huge stone was taken to Rawlings Stinson Park in Manchester, Kentucky, where it was roofed and fenced. Manchester is in Clay County. There are many petroglyphs throughout Clay County, which are commonly linked to the Cherokee who once lived in the area. But by all accounts, the Red Bird River petroglyphs are different. The Vikings were the first Europeans to explore North America. Now that used to be controversial, but from what I can tell, it's becoming the accepted historical narrative. So Viking Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red, has sort of replaced Columbus. Who cares? Here's my point. For hundreds of years, it was a fact that Columbus was the first European to begin exploring a place previously unknown to the world over here. Now the Vikings didn't stick around for long, so serious exploration of North and South America kicked into high gear in the 1500s. Okay, I get it. You know all of this. The names and dates are probably fuzzy, but you get the gist. We all do. We all know the good, the bad, and the ugly about the age of exploration. But I'm focusing on one specific part of this accepted historical narrative. No one over here knew anything about this other place over here until Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492. That's what we've been taught. But is it true? What the accepted historical narrative is saying is that for thousands and thousands of years before Columbus or Leif Erikson, no one ever got lost and accidentally landed on the shores of North or South America? Are we saying that a storm never pushed ancient Asiatic sailors onto the North or South American coast? Okay, after all, it was technology that enabled Columbus to sail across the Atlantic. Tools like the compass, hourglass, or the astrolabe, tools like that made global navigation possible. Without these tools, sailors had to stay close to land for thousands of years, and that's what we're told. And I guess that makes sense. It's just hard to imagine that these people never knew about these people. But these days, people are questioning that narrative. A man by the name of James Burchell believed that people from all over the world, including Europeans, were exploring North America for over 1,000 years, maybe longer, before Columbus and before the Vikings. And Burchell thinks the Red Bird River petroglyphs provide proof. Experts even say that the Red Bird River petroglyphs are different than any of the previously reported Kentucky glyphs. Most of the petroglyphs in Clay County were left by the Cherokee. James Burchell grew up knowing about the local petroglyphs way before the big rock fell on Kentucky Route 66. Now, at some point in Burchell's life, he became inspired by Barry Fell, a professor at Harvard Museum of Comparative Zoology. Fell's a smart guy. When he retired, he focused his academic energy in New World epigraphy, or studying inscriptions in rocks. Fell argued that various inscriptions in the Americas are best explained by extensive pre-Columbian contact with Old World civilization. Bell's work in this area was and still is rejected by mainstream scholars. But Fell's work inspired Burchell to re-examine the Red Bird River petroglyphs. After years of examination, Burchell became convinced that the Red Bird River inscriptions were not Cherokee, but had been carved by pre-Columbian explorers from Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, and are perhaps the earliest Christian writings carved in North America. And if that's true, it changes everything we know about ancient history. At least in Clay County, Kentucky, Burchell's theory is widely accepted. This is Manchester's official statement on the matter. While some historians believe this is an artifact featuring 8 Old World alphabets, others believe it is a remnant from the Cherokee Nation when they lived in Kentucky. I love the way that's worded. So yes, the locals support Burchell. And why wouldn't they? Burchell is a local historian, so he's put some work into this, and he knows how to present ideas. Before Burchell was studying petroglyphs, he spent years in the Kentucky coal mines. He's been a taxidermist, and all the while, he served in the ministry. At one point, he was the lead pastor at a local church. One thing is for sure, Burchell is no slacker. So what does Burchell have to say about the glyphs? First, the rock is close to an ancient 12,000-year-old trail used by indigenous peoples in the eastern United States. This trail, or network of trails, runs from the Great Lakes to the Gulf of Mexico. It's called the Warrior's Path. The rock in its original position was along the Warrior's Path. It wasn't a place where a group of people would settle, but it made for a great place to camp for a night or two. And it just so happens that it's easy to carve on the rock's surface. So according to Burchell, travelers left their mark on the rock, but they didn't have time to write a lot. So the rock was tagged by generations of travelers, and sometimes those travelers were from the other side of the ocean. These travelers recorded symbols from their language, making the rock, as Burchell says it, a stone of witness. According to Burchell, some of these marks were made by Europeans almost 2,000 years ago. But again, if this is true, it would rewrite history, not just North American history, but world history. Is this even possible? Pre-Columbian transoceanic contact theories are speculative theories which propose that possible visits to the Americas were made by people from all over the world prior to Columbus or the Vikings. Theories like this have been written off as speculative or fringe theories, even conspiracy theories. That is, until scientists began looking for genetic evidence. Now listen, this is way too deep for this video, but I've left links in the description. The evidence isn't conclusive, and it's not like experts are reconsidering the accepted historical narrative, not yet. It's just that they're talking about it a little bit more. And Burchell's not alone in theorizing that the Americas were visited by the rest of the world long before Columbus or the Vikings. But experts won't even consider Burchell's interpretation about the petroglyphs. And I've got to admit, it's hard for me to come to the same conclusions as Burchell, and I want him to be right. Pre-Columbian transoceanic contact is the most believable part of Burchell's theory, so technically, his theory's already come a long way. Some of Burchell's claims about these carvings are difficult for me. I might make out a couple of his ideas, but it's also one of those things where I think people start seeing what they want to see. But maybe what makes Burchell's theories difficult to take seriously is his conspiracy theory that the United States federal government censors any interpretation outside the accepted historical narrative. Burchell argues it would end the career of professional archaeologists if they supported his ideas, claiming that if there was evidence that people from other places visited the rock before Columbus, then those other places could claim Kentucky as their own? Okay, look, the U.S. isn't worried that another country will claim Kentucky for any reason. Not that Kentucky isn't worth claiming. I've lived in Kentucky, and I love the state, especially southeast Kentucky. It's special to my family. But no one's gonna claim Kentucky because someone scribbled on a rock a long, long time ago. It's not the YouTube content ID system. Woo! Seriously, I love a good, solid government conspiracy. But Burchell's government censorship conspiracy, well, it's poorly crafted. But in Burchell's defense, no one's offered a more compelling thesis about these petroglyphs either. So what do you think about the Red Bird River Petroglyphs? Let us know what you think in the comments. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Here are some other videos you'll enjoy. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. My name is Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life.